How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Hello and welcome to, or welcome back to Heartland Junction. My name is Richie, and today I want to show you my O-scale fleet, as well as a box that I just got in the mail with some new goodies for O-gauge. Last time we were together, I showed you what you can do with O-scale in a small space. We were looking at the Inglenook shunting puzzle. Again, I'm using the British 7mm O-gauge because that is my area of interest in that scale. Obviously, you can probably do something similar with American O-gauge, but that is not my realm of expertise. So, thinking about what we talked about last time, I want to actually build a layout. I just showed off what you could do with some Snaptrack that I have over here, but I want to actually put it together and build some kind of a layout. I want it to be a functional switching layout like we talked about to keep it as small as possible, but I do want to build it probably in such a way that it could be modular and expanded in the future, or something that could just be set up temporarily and taken back down. Anyway, first let's go ahead and start off with my current O-gauge collection. I'll show you the new stuff that I just picked up, and we'll go from there. Alright guys, real quick, before we actually get into that box of goodies that I got in the mail, I thought that I would take a moment and show you what I currently have as far as my O-gauge rolling stock, and then I'll show you what I have that's new. So the first thing we have here is my currently one and only locomotive, which is my DAPL British Railways Class 14XX or 1400 class. It's a tank engine. If it looks familiar and you're not from the UK, you may recognize it as the same locomotive that Oliver from Thomas & Friends was based on. Yeah, this is DCC fitted, but it does not have sound. Like I said, it is currently my only locomotive in this scale. Moving on to freight cars, rolling stock. I currently have one British Railways Era 5 flat car here. I have the blue Shaka salt van and the BR pillbox brake van. This is all of the ready-to-run freight car rolling stock that I have, but I do have two kits that I had previously assembled. The first of those is this guy, and it didn't go necessarily that great. This was the Slater's 12-ton BR standard van. You can hear I did assemble this myself. It didn't go together the greatest. I wasn't able to get the coupling hook on entirely right on this side, and so it's missing its chain. And I did just paint it the other night. I'll show you a picture here on screen of what it looked like before I painted it. It was a bit of a lighter brown and a bit shinier because it was plastic, obviously. Need to do some touch-up. I can see I missed some black paint down here on the, you can't really see it with the lighting here, but on the brake rigging there. And then the other kit that I built, which I was much happier about, is this Parkside Dunas 13-ton sand wagon. Obviously you can see it's not full of sand. I gave it a coal load. Because I had these, I think they were originally meant for like a fish tank, but I had these pebble things lying around that I thought looked great for coal. Maybe it's a little bit large even for O-scale, but I really liked it, and I was very happy with how this kit came out. I'm not really a kit builder, which is going to be changing here once you see what's inside this box. But so that does it for my freight rolling stock. I do have one and only one coach, and that guy's over here. Give me just a second to get it out of the background. It's in its box. I'm not going to take it out right now, but it is one of the Stroudley four-wheel mainline coaches. This one is in the mahogany. I really like this. I do want to get a brake coach to go with it. Again, this layout, at least in its Inglenook build, is mostly just going to be focused on freight switching or freight shunting. But I do have the one coach that I got on sale along with the locomotive, and it was just hard to pass up. Alright, here we are. And like I said, this was an eBay purchase. I got all of this stuff domestically here in the US, which is really great because trying to get a hold of anything British train related in the US is typically on the expensive side because Obviously, the exchange rate is not great for the pound. One Great British pound is typically worth approximately $1.30 or $1.35. So if you buy something that costs 100 pounds, you're paying 130 bucks for it. Plus, then you have international shipping and, of course, any other import fees, which we have seen quite a bit of lately. So I did find this a lot of O-gauge kits, mostly. One of these is pre-assembled. It should be this one. The other, I believe, 6 cars are all unassembled kits. So we're going to show you what I got here and what I'm going to be working on assembling here in the near future. So this private owner Coke wagon by Skytrex Model Railways. I have not heard of Skytrex before I bought this set, but it is in the 7mm scale, O-gauge. Here it is, looking very lovely in there. The box does feel fairly light, so let's see what it actually looks like. Let's pull this guy out of here. Alright, it does have a load already. I don't know, I don't think that's custom. I'm really not sure. Oh, this is not... It's not entirely secure up here. I'm not going to mess with that right now. I need to inspect it a little bit closer, but... So there's what that guy looks like. I don't know if this was a kit or if this was always pre-assembled. This does have the sprung coupling hooks and sprung buffers. Very good. So it does look very nice. Metal wheels. Are those metal or are those plastic, actually? They feel like metal, but I can't tell. Yeah, I'm pretty sure those are metal wheels. So that one's all pre-assembled, ready to go. Very nice. Okay, up next we had one Slater's kit in the lot here, and that is this guy here. It's a rectangular tank wagon, which is very interesting. This is the livery that is displayed on the box, but obviously it's a kit, so it's not going to have any of that, I think, pre-printed on it. But there should, in theory, be decals here in the package. So here's what we have as far as kit components. There's going to be the base. Looks like the underframe things for the wheels, the ends of the car there. We've got our metal wheels. Then we have the couplings here. Individual links that I'll have to assemble, and then of course we have the actual coupling hooks. I'm not sure what... Oh, this is the buffer beam assembly here. So you have the inside part of the buffers. That's interesting. This looks a little bit different than the other kit that I put together. The buffers looked a bit different. That's interesting. Of course it has the springs in there to make that sprung as it should be. And then what do we have down here? I'm guessing that this is probably going to be the decals, yeah. Cool. So that is the one Slater's kit that we have here. Okay, and then the second kit brand that we have in here is another one that I'm already familiar with, which is Parkside Dunas. We have two of these. So we have this guy here, which the box is a little bit messy, but you can see it is a Jubilee private owner's wagon. Not exactly sure what the body shape is going to look like. I'm assuming that's going to be some kind of like a hopper car. We'll see in a second here. Then we have, yeah, here's another one, a Jubilee coal wagon. So it's going to be, what is that, a 5? Or is that a 4-plank open wagon? Let's take a look at this one. So this one's LNER. Some packing peanuts in there. Yeah, we got the components there. So you got the sides of the wagon. The base is right there. You can see the wood planking. And then the wheel components there. See, the metal wheels and everything should be in here. I'm not going to open up all of these, but just, you know, to give you an idea. There's the coupling hooks there. Let's put this all back in the box for now. And then I will open up this other one real quick because I want to see what it looks like inside compared to that one. Okay, it looks pretty much the same. We've got the base there. I don't see the side panels there. Maybe they're in a different... Oh, they're in here. Oh, okay, so these are already pre-decorated. That's very nice. Cool. So, and then we've got obviously the wheels and buffers and those components down in here. And here you can see these are the other buffer styles that I've seen before. That's very cool. That one's actually pre-decorated. I like that a lot. Slide this foam back in here to keep it from moving around too much. And then last but not least, we have the Pico Wonderful Wagon Kit. Now I believe that Pico, I don't know if they still make these. I think that Pico now owns the Parkside Dunas range. I'm not positive about that. If I'm wrong, let me know. Let's just open these. There's 3 kits all bundled together here. Let me just open this up and be right back. A 10-ton ventilated box van, a 10-ton 4-plank open wagon, and a second 10-ton 4-plank open wagon. These are, again, all Great Western era, so era 3, but obviously they can be used for my era as well. Yeah, I'll open these up later, but yeah, so that's what we have here. So we have these 3 guys. Let me move the camera back a little bit. Sorry. So we've got those 3 guys. We have the 2 Parkside kits, the 1 Slater's kit here, and then of course we have this pre-assembled, ready to run private owner's coke wagon. So there you have it. That was a quick look at my O-gauge fleet and the new kits that I just got in the mail. Got quite a lot of work ahead of me getting those assembled and painted and ready to run on the layout that I haven't started designing fully yet. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I'm going to be working on that O-gauge Inglenook shunting, potentially larger modular layout in the coming months, as well as eventually getting to doing some work on the HO scale layout over here, which you haven't even really seen yet because, as you can see, it's mostly buried in books right now. And then also getting to the next N-scale project. I do want to finish up the scenery on my little layout and fix that electrical issue. Probably do that before I start working on the next N-scale project, because I want to have this to be functional, something that I can take with me when, if I go to any, train shows or anything like that. I don't know how common it is in the US for there to be people that bring like layouts to show off at those kind of events. I know it happens a lot at the shows I've seen on YouTube in the UK, but also I am still part of the Flagstaff Model Railroad Club, although I don't live in Flagstaff anymore, so I only get up there once a year. Might be fun to have that just on display out there as just a little extra thing for people to see, as we do put on a show every year during the county fair up in Flagstaff. So yeah, stay tuned for that. So we're going to be working on an O-scale switching layout, potentially evolving into a larger modular layout, finishing up some detail and wiring fixes on the 2x4 N-scale layout, eventually getting onto my new and improved N-scale layout using the Kato track, which is going to be the probably about 6 foot by 2.5 foot, using a table, not necessarily this table, but a similar table as a baseboard. And then sometime in the relatively far future, getting to work on the HO scale layout, which is beside me here. Again, mostly buried in books, but you can see some of it over on this end. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this little look at my O-scale fleet and the new stuff that I just picked up. Appreciate your time. Thanks for joining me, like I just said, and we'll catch you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day.